I'm Annie. We are going to read a book together today. Please make sure to follow my pencil as we read because I'm going to be tracing along every single word that we read and every single sound that we read. And the more you practice that, the connection between the words and the sounds and the letter patterns are going to start to get quicker and easier. And the more you do that, you'll be able to start reading cooler and cooler books all by yourself. So today's story is No Roses for Harry by the author and artist of Harry the Dirty Dog. And I know I've made a video for that, so if you want to hear Harry's first story, you should go watch that. But you can read this without knowing the background story. That's fine too. All right, and it's by Jean Zion with pictures by Margaret Bloy Graham. All right, let's see what Harry is up to. Here it is again. No Roses for Harry. And this box says, to Harry from Grandma. Oh, he got a present. Here it is again. No Roses for Harry. He's opening it up. All right, here we go. Harry was a white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it the moment he saw it. He didn't like the roses. Have you ever gotten a present and you were like, this is not for me? Let's see what he does with it. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he still didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he'd ever seen. The next day, when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. When dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind then and there to lose Grandma's present. Oh, no. When they went into a big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First, he tried to lose it in the pet. This is a big word. Get ready. Department. Department. But a man found it and gave it back. And the kids are like, oh, thank you, sir. And Harry's like, Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department. He left it on that bottom shelf. But a lady found it and gave it back. He tried to lose it in the flower department. Do you think someone's going to return the sweater? I mean, how nice everyone's like trying to return lost property. Yep. But a little boy found it and gave it back. Harry is cranky. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. As they started home, Harry was beginning to think he'd never lose it. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him. But Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. As he sat wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater. He pulled at the wool, just a little at first, then a bit more, and a little bit more. Harry didn't know it, but a bird was watching. In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of the wool. The end of it lay on the grass behind him. Suddenly, the bird flew down. Quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. That bird's gonna make a cool nest out of his sweater string. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. First one leg, then the neck. Can you imagine it like all unraveling? Then the other leg, then the back, and finally, the whole thing was just one long piece of wool flying off into the sky. The sweater was gone. Harry could hardly believe it. He barked and jumped with joy. Then he ran out of the yard. He got his wish. The sweater's gone. He ran down the street, barking thank you to the bird over and over again. The bird and wool were just a tiny speck in the sky, but Harry kept following them. There's the bird. Bloop, 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 bloop. He came home thirsty and tired and was having a drink in the kitchen when the children ran in. "We got a letter from Grandma," one of them said. "She's coming to visit us," shouted the other. Harry thought of the sweater, and his tail drooped. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how nice Harry looked in it. Of course, they couldn't find it. Only Harry knew why. When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with his leash. Then he sat up and begged. "All right, Harry," said Grandma. "After I've had my lunch and a nap, we'll go for a walk." That afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the children started off on their walk. Harry barked happily and pulled towards the park. When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off his leash and he ran on ahead. He seemed to be looking for something. All at once, he stopped under a big tree. He looked up and began to bark and wag his tail. Grandma and the children came running. What do you think he found? Can you guess? What do you think? Think about it. They got to the tree and looked up too. Suddenly, one of the children said, "I see a nest." "It's made of wool," said the other. "And it's the very same color as Harry's sweater," they shouted together. She really rewove that very beautifully. "It is Harry's sweater," exclaimed Grandma. Just then, a bird looked out of the nest. "Look, Grandma, look!" shouted the children. "Harry gave his sweater to a bird." "I wonder how he did that," said Grandma. The bird sang, and Harry wagged his tail even harder. Isn't that sweet? At Christmas, Harry got a present from Grandma. It was a new sweater. Harry liked this one very much. When he tried it on, he felt as cozy and snug as the bird in the nest. But best of all, it was white with black spots. Because he's a white dog with black spots. Isn't that sweet? So I love that the sweater went to keep some birds nice and cozy. Isn't that nice? I like Harry. He's a good guy. All right, if you like that book, you can probably get this from your library. You can probably get it from maybe your local bookstore. I'll have links down below where you can buy it as well. So that way you can read it again. You can read it to yourself. You can read it to your grown-up. And you don't have me like blah, 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 yapping away. So make sure that you get this so that way you can read it again, because the more you reread stuff, it really does help with fluency and to really understand what the story is about. And then what you can do is get a clicky pencil like this, click, 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 have a grown-up help you take all the lead out. This one doesn't even have an eraser anymore because it's just my reading pencil. And it helps you to trace and track all the letters and all the sounds that you're reading as you're reading. It just makes it easier to keep your eyeballs looking at where they need to be when you're reading. Okay. All right. I hope you really enjoyed that. I sure did. Harry is a delight. And I will see you very soon.